Oh, Shamit, I just want to talk to you about myself, about my journey in Shamo. We started it off in on 16 January 2022, Shamit, if you remember. It's been it's been 3 years, and a lot has happened. A lot has not happened, which should have happened. Initially, when I started it off, I remember it was just an idea. I had read about. I just instantly got a passion for something along education, I guess, because I'm a student as well, and I have seen how it can get difficult because there are a lot of things to memorize sometimes. There are a lot of things coming out in the exam. There's so many subjects, there's so much in the syllabus. But I feel a lot of times it used to, at least that was my realization, that it used to be okay, Shamit, be genuine, be genuine. I think when I started it off, my idea was that I really wanted to do something in education. Okay, I really wanted to make a lot of money from education because I I don't know, I was like 15 and a half that time, and I really had that thing for money. I want money, money, money. But I also felt a passion for education. So I felt, why not combine them? You do something related to education, you get money for it. So I did quite a bit of planning, but at around that time I was still in IGCSE, and I wanted to give tuitions for IGCSE admits, and that was a time where I was like, okay, Shamit, I think we need to wait for the IGCSEs to finish first, and then you can give tuitions for IGCSE admits. But to be honest, I couldn't wait for the IGCSEs to finish because IGCSE admits, even when I was before I had given IGCSEs, it was one subject I was really, really, really confident in because I used to study that a lot because I really used to like that subject last time. I still do, but at that time I had a really, really, really intense appreciation for the subject. I guess because of my teachers as well. My teacher was really good and inspired me to be very curious. So I used to watch a lot of videos go beyond the syllabus. I remember watching so many three blue, one brown videos, etc., etc. So I was very confident in admats anyways, right? Now, I'm like, okay, Shamit, when you probably start teaching after IGCSE, you will be questioned that, hey, you're not qualified. Because my parents used to question that to me always, that Shamit, you're not qualified. So why will anyone come to you? And I'm like, yeah, that's true, but that's not true. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make it happen. So initially, what I thought was I should just do really, really well in my IGCSE admats, and by that I don't mean A star. I think during the time I started, which was January 2022, I knew that admats is probably an A star. It was my English and accounting, which was a bit scary. So I'm like, okay, I should focus on getting top in the world for IGCSE admins. Because if anyone questions you that, hey, you're not qualified, you show them that you got top in the world, that's probably going to shut them up. So that was my focus. And I used to practice quite a lot of admats. I think I've practiced the most past papers for admats. It was 2022 that time. So generally, for most subjects, I had done past papers until 2020. Uh, 2020, yes. But for AdMaths, I went all the way till 2018, I think. Which again, I know some people do till 2015 and they still can't uh, perform as well because I'm not sure. I guess their techniques were a little different. So that's also one thing which I want to change. When you're teaching, I want to teach the way I wanted to learn. So I wanted to teach in a fun way and in a curious way. I wanted to explain why rather than what. So a lot of times I've always focused going a little bit outside the box to explain the logic behind something, to explain why is this way and why it's not that way. You know, why when you are solving trigonometric equations, for example, you take sine inverse, you take that as a base angle, and then you do 180 minus theta or 180 plus theta, 360 minus theta, depending on the quadrant. Why, when you differentiate sine, you get cos, blah, blah, blah. Not gonna lie, I've probably forgotten a bit of it myself. But whenever I teach, I try to revise that and get the students to be curious as well. Which is why, even my shirt says, I'm a curious learner. The shirt we made for Shamo, the curious learner was an identity which I wanted to give myself, which I wanted to give my students, that, hey, you should really, really, really question everything around you because this entire world is, it's quite, it's quite magnificent, it's perfect and perfect in the sense that we are at the perfect distance from the sun, for example. Maybe if the sun was slightly closer, the sunlight would be too strong for for crops to grow. Maybe if gravity was uh, slightly stronger or slightly weaker. I'm not sure how the physics works behind that, but I heard that it can make life significantly different, maybe to a point that life can't exist because of very strong gravity or very weak gravity. Like, I guess, yeah, Jupiter or something, life doesn't exist, right? Um, so I've encouraged everyone to be curious, to think outside the box, to question why for everything, because it's a beautiful universe God has given us in a way. I don't usually appreciate nature, like, oh, look at that, look at those beautiful plants. I'm like, okay, but sometimes when I think of it in the bigger picture, how sorted out everything is. For example, how we are the only species who's on top, and how every problem somehow has a solution. So before we had a problem for, let's say energy, right? Like moving from one place to another. We somehow we thought of it as a problem and we built bikes, we built cars. And oh, you need something to power those. Whoa, turns out there was a lot of coal, petrol on Earth as well. Uh, and now there's a problem. Oh, that's non-renewable. It's polluting the environment. Damn, turns out there's a solution to that as well. Electrical solutions. Wow. Turns out we used to be a lot of things used to be very repetitive, like in factories and stuff. Whoa, turns out there's a solution, automatic machines, and now it's all AI. So it turns out there's a solution to everything. So God has given us a universe in which all our problems somehow have solutions. We are even going beyond the earth to get solutions. So question all this, be a curious learner. So at the start of every class, I always now before we start the class, I always say I'm a curious learner. So um, that's one thing which was not my initial priority. As I said, when I started off, I had a passion for education and I had, let's say, a lot of desire for money. Now, my right now, I feel that this curious learner mentality, this curious learner movement, which I want to spread, is something which is of great importance as well. And that will happen, that will hopefully inspire everyone else to be curious, to think outside the box. Because if you study for an exam point of view, like I've always realized, okay, right now in university, I can't speak too much because um, let's say university is a completely different topic, okay, because of the structure and my grades, but whatever. But at least in IGCSEs and A levels, what I used to do was I never really used to study for the exam. Whenever the I used to study the exam syllabus, but whenever I was studying, I always used to go outside the box. Like I never limited myself to the syllabus of the exam. For example, in calculus, when we used to learn that this is how differentiation works, and that's it. I used to always go like, hey, screw that syllabus is so narrow. I used to go like, hey, why does it work this way? Or why can't it work the other way around? Who made the rules? Because in the end, someone made the rules, and that person was human. I need to know what how did that happen? Because if you want future innovations, you need to understand past innovations. You need to understand everything logically, everything visually, everything conceptually. So I feel I had that for admins, and I wanted to pass it on to as many people as I could. I had a desire for money as well, get money in exchange. And right now, I also want to pass on that curiosity, pass on that sense of desire for learning. Because if you learn it in this way, where it can be curious or where you can have fun in learning, like I think right now I haven't been doing fun learning. We have like now our team also has grown. I'm not the only teacher. We teach A levels maths for the maths, physics, IGCSEs maths for add maths, physics. I trust me, I can't do everything. I'm lazy and I'm yeah. I don't. I only do add maths right now. But yeah, you could join the rest as well. Mm, so before a lot of uh, math bingos, math monopolies, fantastic game of life, some marathons, integration marathon or something. I used to remember. Yeah, decreased a bit, but I've replaced that with a more emphasis on curiosity, a more emphasis on asking why, asking questions, and focusing on learning intuitively and in a fun way. Because otherwise, people generally don't find learning very fun. It's very boring, burden, chore type of thing. Whew. Now, over the period, I think there are many good things and many bad things which we have done as Shamo. One of the bad things we've done, and clearly I am the one responsible for that, is inaction. I remember at the start, I used to do so many events. I used to just have so many events, and I was doing A levels at that time. My A level results were terrible. My it was a lot of pressure on me to just stop Shamo because my A level results were really, really, really bad. Now, what does really bad means? I was barely passing. So there was a lot of pressure to just stop this Shamo thing. And at that point, there was no money coming in as well. So I was doing a lot of work for no real money at that time. Now, for some reason, and thankfully that it happened, I had a really, really, really big desire to keep going. So I remember that uh, last 6 months of 2022, wow, it was probably the toughest phase of my life to because I had like two, three priorities, right? One was Shamo, one was A levels, and neither of those were going well. And by going well, I mean that I was working on them, but my A level results were not, I was doing really bad. And Shamo, I was putting in a lot of work, but I won't say I was wasting the time. It's just that you need to put a lot of work to gain trust before you can start charging or earning. Now, so that was a period of putting in a lot of work without knowing whether you'll get the result. And if you don't get the result, you might be sacrificing your A level studies, which especially if especially considering Asian parents, maybe even Indian parents in general, studies is like, oh yeah, on top of the priority list. So yeah, those are very tough phase. Whenever I whenever I look at my photos from the last 6 months of 2022, like general photos, sometimes you go out with your family when you're just normal photo. When I look at those photos, I'm like, wow, I'm smiling, but that that thing, that pain I was having behind that smile in those 2022 last 6 months photos, I'm like, wow, I'm proud of myself that I went through that. And in the end, it became worthwhile because my A level results were very good. Uh, Obviously, I think I got really distracted towards the end because of some. I got really distracted towards the end because of some. Let's not talk about it. Let's just say some fell in love issues. Uh, don't worry, nothing happened now. Okay, but I got really distracted towards the end. But I think I still did good in A levels, and at that phase, we did a lot of events and initiatives for Shamo. We had a had a workshop, an online workshop. That was a good one. I loved the response the workshop got. I loved the work which me and all of my team put in. That was Om, Siva, Shrut, and Push. It was an amazing workshop. And after that, we also did the sponsorship, like just 2 months after that. And the best part is that was literally during my A level exams, final exams. So I had the I had the guts, I had the initiatives to manage both. So I'm proud of myself for that. And a lot of other good things which we've done. We've maybe not to an extent I would like, but I have instilled that curious learner mentality on most of my students, and I will hopefully Shamo continues to spread it. A curious learner mentality where learning can be fun, where you question things, where you think out of the box, where you try to understand things, focus on the essence rather than just memorizing. So we've done that to a decent stage, I guess. We've brought awareness about it to our students, mm, but a long way to go in instilling that mindset. Hopefully, if I have the guts to sit in front of the camera, press record, and post things like I feel like, um, maybe it could, the curious learner mindset can spread a bit, but that requires guts. Even this recording, I was, let's say, quite scared to even press record. And yeah, I'm doing this early in the morning, like at 8 a.m., which is immediately after I had a shower. Reason being, if I do it in the afternoon, my overthinking brain in the morning will be like, oh no, Shamit, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Because I've been wanting to do this for, let's say, a good few months, but I've not been doing it. Maybe it's been a year actually since I've wanted to do this kind of podcasting, but I've always been holding myself back that no, don't do it. What will people think? And yeah, I was a bit scared to put myself out there, but you have to. Okay. I was just recently looking at my gallery, then I saw my the insane number of comments I made when Chandrayaan landed. And I was like, damn, I used to put myself out there. So why am I holding myself back now? I just need to be genuine and you know, I have nothing to boast about. Uh I've mm, I have nothing to boast about, and I just felt like I want to share my thoughts. Uh, and it's something which I told myself in 2025 that Shamit, now you have to do it. No more being scared. Just, just do it. It's okay. So don't give two two f's about what anyone's gonna think. And yeah, so that those are the good things which we've done. We've done. We've helped them achieve better grades. We've hopefully inspired them to be a little more curious. And from a business point of view, I like the fact that I took the initiative uh, to do workshops, to do sponsorships, to do more campaigns. But lot of bad things as well. The biggest bad thing is inaction. Since since the sponsorship, what have we done? Apart from taking the normal classes, which I do every week, and every other teacher does according to their schedule. But what have we done? Not much. I think the only thing worthwhile mm, in terms of marketing or growing, which I feel I've done, was make that weird video about wow, Mr. A. That one I still have it. Wow, Mr. A. I think I heard that one. So a lot of inaction, which I was definitely not proud of in 2024. And even in terms of the teaching, a lot of times I feel that the I'm not helping the students as much as I should. Making excuses. We are obviously some they will tell you that Shamo is doing a very good job. You're teaching us in a really good way. But in the end, their attitude and sometimes their marks doesn't reflect it as much. So in some ways, I feel especially in the way of inaction, I feel that I've uh, to be very honest with myself, done a bad job in the last few months for sure. But I'm hopefully this initiative of me just sharing my thoughts in general and in the future, just sharing my thoughts on education, on Shamo, on how I feel things should work, what I feel we should do, what I feel our vision is. I feel that uh, maybe putting myself out there at least is some sort of action which I'm taking, and hopefully we can grow Shamu to that point where the curious learner mentality is a new sense of inspiration, for everyone. I don't know, do they call it cult? I'm not sure. Like I've seen cult a lot. I'm not really sure what it means, but yeah, okay. If that's how it is, cult. I think cult means like a, a community, a tribe. So if that's what it means, then sure, a curious learner cult. Um, identity, yes. Um, where everyone's encouraged to be curious, and Shama Growers helps more and more people in IGCSEs, in A levels, in all subjects, in the whole just in this whole education system in general, which is so exam based, such memorizing based. Like uh, why is the system such that the emphasis is on so much on grades, when in reality everyone knows that it's not going to make a difference in the long run. What's going to make a difference is your character, your attitude, the way you think. In the end, as a wise man once said, education is what remains when one has forgotten everything they've learned in school. So, what you should learn is maybe how to think things from different perspectives, how to be curious, how to ask the right questions, how to question everything. Like, I remember how I used to, and to some extent, I still am. I hope I still am a rebel. A rebel and just, no, it shouldn't work this way. Why can't sun rise from the north and set in the south? Blah, blah, blah. Um, Or for example, why did okay, let's say why did God create gravity down, not up? Some questions you don't have the answers to, and sometimes you're like just asking why and everything. I remember a lot of times, and okay, if any teacher is seeing this, they'll be like, "Damn, you Shamit." But I remember a lot of times I did not have a question in the class. I think I understood everything, but on purpose, just for the sake of asking a question, I used to ask a question uh, because yeah, just in case you can get to know something different or clarify something that way. Mm, I guess the teachers won't mind that someone's listening as well, right? Uh, but a lot to do. I feel like whatever at the start, my goal was I had a huge desire and passion in education, a huge passion in education. It's you need a lot of desire to do to contribute better towards the education system. If you know your A levels are quite screwed up, your mental health is quite screwed up during those that phase, but you're still pushing, even though you haven't even started showing results like in terms of feedback or in terms of money. Um, so my desire was to do something good in education and to get get money as well. Like that was a desire. Now has my desire changed? Definitely. Um, the money aspect is, I would say, very minimal. It's no longer there. Um, come on, let's be honest. It's the money is very little anyways. Like very little money anyways. But it's something. It's something. I guess 3 years ago, I'll be like, okay, Shamil, that much is fine. Um, for a kid, for a immature kid like me, earning a little bit, I would say that amount was okay for 3 years ago. But right now, I'm not really focused on the money. Our price is very minimum, and I want to focus on just helping. We want to focus on helping as many people we can, um, through Shamo, through the curious learner mentality, where everyone should enjoy their education. Everyone should enjoy their studies. This life for students should become a better thing. Some people study 10 hours a day and don't really achieve what they want. Some people just study 3 hours and they could do some extraordinary things. So just um, and a lot of that can just go down to how you learn and how should you learn. I feel it's the curious learner. So hopefully impacting as many people through this learning and just make the education system a better place. And hopefully in the future create our own education curriculum which emphasizes on this thinking out of the box mentality. So not making lives easier in this curriculum of IGCSE levels, making my own IGCSE levels, something like that. Okay, next time we'll have the Shamo curriculum where you learn life skills about money, about communication, obviously your maths and physics, your ability to write, your ability to think outside the box, maybe some curriculum like that. And I really wish that we can make a positive impact on education. Right now, money is really a very minimal desire for me. I think when you are not required to earn right now, I'm not really bothered about money. And my friends have told me sometimes that, Shamit, mm, okay, what you earn is not that much, but you can you can get yourself, you can go to that, go, give us some popcorn party at least, or something. I'm like, this money is not mine anymore, bro. uh, it's the money is actually, trust me, it's Very little. Trust me, it's very little. Uh, I think probably once you start working, maybe in a month, you learn twice of what we've gone in 3 years. But okay, whatever little bit there is, it's all for the students. Just reinvest that on maybe on advertising, on better services to improve Shamo. You know, all these 3 years, what we've done to continue that, to grow that into expanding, into encouraging everyone to be more curious, into making the education system a better place, into helping students. That's my biggest priority right now. Service. I remember, I was crazy desire for money last time, but service. Um, so no, the money is not that whatever that half of that money, which is probably going to be half of someone's one of your guys, if you're watching this when you're working maybe 5 years from now, your monthly salary, maybe half of that we got it in 3 years. Yeah, yeah, that money. Uh, it's not mine. I've actually never even touched that. I'm not even kidding. I don't even know how much it is because I've whatever it is, it's all for Shamo. It all belongs to the students. It all belongs to putting that money into building a better Shamo, into building a better education system, into building a better environment for the students to learn more, to be more curious, to thrive more. And yeah, as a byproduct, until we revolutionize the education system, until then, as a byproduct, all this will hopefully transform their grades as well. So yeah, I was supposed to talk for 30 minutes. It's been 32 minutes. Uh, I definitely feel that posting this will be wow. Oh, okay. It's only 8 a.m., so I have it's not sinking in, but 33 minutes. I'll probably clip this into 1 or 2 minutes and maybe post 5 or 6 of these things. Uh, but okay. What did I talk about? I talked about what we've done good in Shamo. I talked about what we've done bad in Shamo. I talked about um, what I feel about the education system, what I feel about the curious learner mindset, what uh, Shamu's vision is for the future. Like I see some so-called competition. They say that we are charging this much 1 year money in advance. Like you're focused on money, focus on service. Come on. I know money. You can't eliminate money because that's how the world runs. No one works for free. Even Shamu charges a little bit at least. We do charge a little bit compared to others. But the world doesn't run for free. So money is a very important thing. But focus on service as well. Like I've seen the competitor ads and all. The vibe it gives is just focus on money, not focused on service. So focus on service as well. I feel that teaching and education is a very noble thing to do. It can really make or break someone's life. Like one good teacher can change a person's can change a person's life. And for me, I had a few of those teachers in school. If they're watching this, they'll know who they are. Like, thank you so much for being there. And a few books as well. They've taught me a lot. They've really shaped my mindset. Uh, is there anything else which I want to talk about? Yeah. One thing which I've always felt that uh, I've always hated for some reason calling Shamo tuitions. I've always hated it, and uh, sometimes my friends tease me, "Oh, your lecture is done." I always, for example, hate it. Why lecture? No, because the vibe tuitions or lecture gives is, oh, there's a teacher. He's gonna write on his. There's some teacher's gonna come in a very dead voice. They're gonna write on this pad, uh, and it'll show on the screen, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is the formula for this. Please memorize this, and this is your homework. This is your homework. Bring the homework next class, or I'll complain to your father, and also submit the fees. Okay, you haven't submitted the fees. Uh, and oh, how does this work? I don't know. Out of your syllabus, okay? That's the vibe that generally a lot of tuitions have give or lectures give, or a lot of money focused vibe, like the wow, Mr. M, wow, Mr. M video. That also, to an extent, I want to show that why are tuitions so focused on money, focused on service, right? You'll get the money. Uh, Now, obviously, I understand they should charge higher because they need to run their whole household with it. Getting half of someone's 1 month salary in 3 years won't help you, right? Yeah, go charge higher, do your marketing, but focus on service. So I've never liked it calling ourselves tuitions or calling ourselves uh, or saying that we take classes, because I feel we are more than tuitions. We are more than classes, because the general why tuitions give is about making students just learn stuff from an exam point of view, or just you know feeding information like robots, and making them memorize that teachers writing on the screen. Blah 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 blah. Students are just blindly copying. Then they are uh, digesting it and then spitting it out in the exam, and then afterwards they're paying a fees. Boom, boom, boom. This process is continuing. That doesn't happen with us. We always encourage open-minded thinking, curious learning, and thinking out of the box. Whenever we learn, obviously the exam is our priority. Okay, it's not that we are some, oh no, the exam doesn't matter type of thing. No, the exam is our priority, and we do a lot of questions, a lot of past papers as well. But we encourage thinking a little bit outside the box. When we learn, we are like, hey, why does it work this way? Blah 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 blah. Which is why when we made these shirts, then I told I told we were discussing what should our tagline be. So I suggested the tagline should be, it's not tuitions, it's Shamo. This was our tagline. I think. Oh my god! I think I'm not sure it can be seen like that, but can it be seen? It's not tuitions, it's Shamo is what we wanted. If not, I'll just put a picture of that or something. So yeah, hopefully we do we continue doing something more than tuitions, more than classes, in terms of the current IGCSE and LR system. But hopefully in the future, we'll have our own system where where education will be fun. It'll be something productive. It'll be focused on growth rather than just some exams which you probably will forget the answers for in a year from now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think I've forgotten most of my A level chemistry or my IGCSE accounting and my year 9 biology. Like, yeah, even year 9 biology I've forgotten. Like, hey, what was that? There was, I remember this, there's the cells, there's like cellulose, cytoplasm, my mitochondria. Yeah, then you have your digestive system, blah, 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 blah. Mm. Yeah, all those are important things, okay, but yeah, I've forgotten those. Maybe if I learn it in a fun way, or maybe if, okay, biology I can't blame, but Maybe if you learn conceptual things in a very curious way, it'll stay with you forever. So yeah, it's been 40 minutes. I think clipping this is gonna take a while, maybe 5, 6 clips, but how do I post them? I'm scared to post them. Oh my gosh. So if I post 5, 6 clips, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what will be? I'm scared. But okay, for the sake of Shamo, on 16th January, Shamet, it'll be 3 years of Shamo. You have to post one. You have to post one. Okay, Shamet. Now you're getting late. It's 8:27. You have to be. You have to go. You have to be at a place by 9, and you have to take the MRT for that. You're getting late. Okay, 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 okay. I'm a curious learner. Okay, we are what was democracy? Of the people, by the people, for the people. So we are Shamo. Of the students, for the students, by the students. Peace out.